Hello there guys, my name is Vic from PhoneArena. Today I'd like to take you on a tour of the current best foldable phones. I mean, technology is impressive, it really is, but sometimes it takes a while before it becomes something, amazing. I remember vividly the first foldable phone, the Royal Flex Pi, and I was like, yeah, that looks impressive, but at the same time I was disappointed to find out it has flaws that would make it, not a daily use for me. But since then, the tech has improved by a good margin, and while it's still not perfect, you can actually daily drive such a device. By the way, our sponsor for the day, Best Buy, has one such device currently on a massive discount, and if you want to learn more, head down to the description of this video. Back to the topic at hand. I'll start with the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold 2. This specimen is of great interest to most of us since it's what most people imagined we'd use a foldable phone for. Screen real estate. And real estate, it actually does well. The phone was released in 2020 and it's rather thick and heavy, but it has to be because when you unfold it, you can see all that thickness, evaporate in favor of the massive 7.6-inch display. The phone follows a book design, like a standard book, meaning that the display folds in and is protected from the outside, where you'll find another screen, which is rather useful if you don't really want to unfold this big boy. There are of course more reasons to like this phone, from its flagship Snapdragon 865 SoC to its multiple camera system capable of videos up to 4K at 60 FPS, not to mention the fact that the Galaxy Z Fold 2's display is also AMOLED, with a refresh rate of 120Hz and gorgeous colors. But besides that, Samsung has improved the foldable display by including a very thin glass layer on it, which might not be noticeable, but it still manages to give that extra bit of protection. The upgraded hinge also helps with keeping dust out. And you should actually keep your eyes peeled, since we are rumored to have an unpacked event revealing the new Z Fold 3 and Z Flip 3 this August. I do wonder what they'll look like, but I'm gonna leave that for the coming months. I bet it's actually gonna be interesting this time around. So now we move on to the Motorola Razr, which sports a different ideology for what is a foldable phone. This one folds like a flip phone, and I think it's pretty cool. It might not sport a massive display, but the tall 6.2-inch screen is pretty cool by itself. There's also this weird chin on the bottom, which I kind of dig since it sits flush when you do the satisfying slap to close your phone. Additionally, if you just wanted to check the time or see if you have any messages, missed notifications, there's an external 2.7-inch OLED display to tell you the time, messages, whatever it is. And camera-wise, you're getting a rather capable phone with the ability to record up to 4K at 30 FPS. Image quality is also pretty nice. But performance-wise, this device is weaker than the Z Fold 2, since it sports a Snapdragon 765G, meaning it's not a flagship processor. As you might have guessed, this isn't a flagship phone also, spec-wise, but I reckon the design itself can carry it into that title. But Motorola is not the only one to include a flip phone-like design. As you might have already guessed, Samsung has its own, dubbed the Samsung Galaxy Z Flip, as I mentioned actually earlier. Spoilers from me. It is, as I would like to call it, the same yet different type of phone. Once again, you have an external 1.1-inch OLED display and an internal folded display coming in at 6.7 inches. But I'd like to add that this phone should have a sturdier foldable display, since it has a very thin layer of glass, much like on the Z Fold 2, and the same upgraded hinge design. It also comes with the top of the line, at least when it was released, Snapdragon 865 SoC, and a camera system capable of video recording up to 4K at 60 FPS for those smooth videos. It's honestly a step better than the Razr, especially if you consider the fact that it's cheaper, coming in at around $1,199 versus the $1,399 price tag of the Razr. So now, another interesting phone on this list. Even if Huawei was banned from dealing with the US, that still doesn't stop them from making impressive devices. One such device is their Foldable Mate X2, much like the Z Fold 2. It folds on the inside, and actually quite different than the original Mate X, which actually folded the reverse way, which was interesting but kind of flimsy. So this one boasts a large tablet-like screen. When folded, you'll find a glass-covered display on the outside, which is 6.45 inches, and when you unfold the phone, it spreads its inside screen to 8 inches. The technology of this display is OLED, much like on the rest of the foldable devices, so colors won't disappoint. and it boasts a refresh rate of 90 Hz, which is pretty cool. There is a drawback to this device though. Since this is a Huawei device, it does not have support for Google Play services, which can be a nuisance if you're used to that ecosystem. But besides that, this device is running with a Kirin 9000 SoC, which would make it quite a good performer, and you get a camera system capable of video recording up to 4K at 60 FPS. So overall, still a very powerful device, but just not in the Google ecosystem and probably not available much in the US. And now so far we've seen devices which are technically innovative in a way that they fold their screen, like a plastic or semi-plastic screen which folds on the inside or on the outside, and that's pretty innovative and interesting. But we've already seen 2-in-1 laptops, and they're foldable technically, yeah, but they're not exactly the same. So we then move to Microsoft's idea of a foldable device, the Surface Duo. Much like the Surface, it actually has two separate screens, which is pretty interesting. Now both of those are 5.6 inches and they're both AMOLED, which makes the colors pretty nice. Together they boast a size of 8.1 inches, and since they're separate screens, they actually covered by conventional glass, which is pretty cool and makes them more durable. But at the same time, not really too much innovation there, but I reckon this is more daily for the average user. I mean, honestly, it's easier to recommend because you wouldn't have to worry with the screen getting any scratches and whatnot since it's glass. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. What about performance? Well, it's actually not bad. The Duo comes equipped with a Snapdragon 855, which is now 2 generations behind the most powerful phones of 2021. But for the average user, this is good. Still, I won't try and persuade you on how good this device is because it's more of an acquired taste. Kind of like if you wanted two phones, or two devices merged into one, or like a more mini size of your Surface laptop, maybe a mini size 2-in-1. Much like how having access to our sponsor for the day, Best Buy, gives you the biggest benefit of all, great deals with perfect timing. And speaking of perfect timing, the Microsoft Surface Duo is currently with a $400 discount, and you can also save the additional $50 if you sign a contract with your purchase. As a bonus, you needn't worry about the pandemic because Best Buy has you covered with curbside pickup. You can make a safe appointment for your phone's activation and have your phone with you as soon as you can. But even if you don't feel like, going over to their store, you can simply order and have the device on your doorstep. I mean, simple as that. So if you're interested in the Microsoft Surface Duo, head down in the description below where you'll find a link with more information on how you can potentially save $450 on your next purchase. Right then, this guys has been a quick cover of the best foldable phones out now, which you can daily. Personally, I'm more inclined to use the Surface Duo since it's the most solid out of the bunch, but if I had to choose something more innovative, I would go with the Z Flip, since I am a fan of the idea of carrying a small foldable device which unfolds to a decently sized phone. But I would also wait a bit more until August to see what new improvements we can expect in the foldable tech industry, since Samsung will be possibly making an unpacked event for the Z Flip 3 and Z Fold 3. So let me know down in the comments below which is your favorite foldable device and if I missed anything significant in the video. As always, please subscribe to PhoneArena and I'll see you guys next time.